and welcome to our very first episode of Doing Life TV. I'm Joyce.
And I'm Sam, and we're excited to kind of sit here with you and talk about doing life, right?
Yeah, so we're a married couple. We live right here in South Jersey.
Woo-hoo.
And we started on a podcast called Doing Life Radio.
Right, in our
basement. And now we're here doing Life TV. So
on Quinn Broadcasting.
Super exciting.
Which is like awesome. It's specifically for South Jersey. We're all over the place. No, it's great. And we get to do this together.
Yeah, which we like. We like to work together most of the time.
Most of the time. Like every married couple, it has its limitations.
Yeah. So we've been married for 17 plus years.
Correct, yeah.
We met in college.
We did meet in college.
We were neighbors.
Ish. Like, I guess neighbors.
We lived in the same building.
It was in the same building, but there was like this half was for the guys, this half was for the girls.
It's a dorm.
Basically, we'd come out of the entrance doors, we had our own entrance doors, and we'd see each other.
Yes.
And then we had a class together, and
we
that's what sealed the deal.
Counseling class together.
Yeah.
Yes.
We weren't counseling together.
No.
We had a class on counseling together, and
Right.
it was far and away my most favorite class to go to out of all the years I was in college, and I have no idea what I learned in the class.
Yeah. Well, you learned how to flirt.
I learned how to look smart in a situation. I learned how to stare at the door, wait for you to come in, and I still remember we were kind of talking a little bit, and then next class, you were sitting next to me. I'm like, oh, this is progressing.
You're such a baby.
I'm going to start putting deodorant on every morning. I was like, oh, here we go. This is
we
really
didn't have
happening.
assigned seats. I could go sit wherever I wanted. I wanted to go sit by you.
I wanted you to sit next to me. I was ready. I just wasn't ready. Like, I was thrilled. It was exciting.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. No, I was like, I remember going back and talking with my roommate, Greg, and I'm like, she sat right next to me. Like,
oh, my goodness.
No one has assigned seats, but everywhere you go, there are, like, assigned seats. You know, if you regularly appear in classrooms or settings like that, you tend to gravitate towards the same area.
Yeah.
People who have cafeterias in their workspaces, they generally know where they're going to sit.
I didn't realize my advances towards you were so significant until years later when I heard this story.
You broke the social norm.
That's what I do. That's what I'm here for.
And of course, lots of hearts, because as soon as you sat next to me, I was like, I'm staking claim to this girl. Like,
I'm sure people were crying themselves to sleep. But anyway, we did have a little bit of a whirlwind romance because we were married 11 months after that.
It was quick. Well, we were both towards the end of our college career.
Right.
And we're pretty much no nonsense people. You get to meet us, we're going to tell you.
Yeah, we don't really beat around the bush.
There's no beating around the bush. We're right to it. And I was in love.
And we were living in different states.
No, the response is.
And I was in love.
Okay, that's how you're supposed to respond to that statement.
But when we left college, we were going to be living in different states.
That's where
and we were grown-ups at that point. We weren't 17, so we were kind of like...
Life is getting started.
Yeah, we were getting on with our lives. So neither of us were interested in a long-distance relationship.
Nope,
it was like we're going to commit to living in the same state, city, home,
town, like neighborhood.
Or we're going to break up. I mean, it was really that simple because both of us are kind of realists in that.
Matter of fact kind of deal. Like it's you know, we're at that phase in life where if this is going to work, it's going to work right now. Like we're going to get
what are we waiting for? We're never going to have, enough money. We're never going to have enough, whatever stability. So we just decided, why don't we just get hitched?
Yeah, that's kind of how it worked. I mean, I graduated from college, moved into your hometown, got a job working for the church that you attended, and that was it. We were right there. It happened. Got engaged. 4 months later, wedding, walking down the aisle, and here we are, 17 and a half years, looking into our 18th anniversary coming up soon in November, and it's a good time.
Yeah, so if you're wondering why New Jersey won out over Connecticut, which is where Sam's family lives, I had a job.
Yeah.
He did not, so Jersey wins.
That's pretty much how, that's really
that was the gist of it. So I'm a hairstylist licensed in the state of New Jersey. So getting up and moving states would mean, one, transferring over my license, which isn't the end of the world, but then you're kind of starting over. Nobody knows you. And I had spent a couple of years starting to establish myself, and I was starting to get a small clientele at that point. And So I work right here in South Jersey, Utopia Salon and Day Spa. I've been there going on 20 years.
I know you have more of a relationship with your job than you do with me. Like you were
as
there
far
before
as time
me.
goes, yes, I was with them before I even knew you existed.
How dare!
I know that's how long I've been there.
That's so unreal.
Now I couldn't imagine leaving. I love my job. I love what I do.
Yeah.
I know you love your job.
You can brag a little bit.
We both enjoy working. We both enjoy what we do, and I think we have a good, strong work ethic that we both mutually respect in one another.
Oh yeah, I mean we're very project oriented. We want to get things done. So we that kind of jives for both of us. And we enjoy, working, getting the satisfaction of getting a job done, going on from there kind of worked out. So you're a hairstylist, right? Is that still the appropriate term? Is there a PC term for that? A hair designer extraordinaire?
No, stylist is fine. Stylist. I mean, we will very graciously answer to anything, but hairdresser and beautician are not our favorite terms of endearment.
Hairdresser. That's kind of like the administrator versus secretary kind of thing.
I think hairdresser is probably better than beautician, but
really, beautician is so general, I guess.
Stylist is what we're going by.
That's the cool term, the hot term. That's what's going on.
I would say it's the term.
And then even that though, in your category, in your beauty industry, in that hair section, there's people that do updos really well. There's people that cut really well.
There's people who specialize in different.
There's specializations, but
and some salons
you cover all that.
Like certain salons, you will do only, you're only a colorist, not only, but you do color only.
That's your.
You do hair cutting only. Where my salon, thankfully, we can take care of our client from the moment they walk in to the moment they walk out. We can do all of it, which I much prefer. I like to start my client and I like to finish my client.
Yeah, you ultimately want to know what the end product's going to be.
It takes a lot of trust in, like, say I was the colorist. It would take a lot of trust for me to, send them off to a cutter to see that they're going to showcase the work that I did properly, So I'm very fortunate in the salon that I work at. I've worked with the same people for 20 years. I love them like, my own parents, and I love the people I work for. So super duper grateful.
And I get to see them once a year at the Christmas party.
At the Christmas party.
Go in there and it's like the family all came back together. It's like a reunion.
Yeah.
And everyone's having fun, and I think people know my name by now.
I think they know your name. You're the guy. You're Sam who sits quietly in the corner.
I sit quietly in the corner, and I enjoy the free food. So that's kind of how it works. So you're a hairstylist, and I am actually associate pastor at a church right in Millville, Cumberland County Community Church, and been doing that for about 4 years. But I have a varied job past. Like I've done a lot of construction in the past, and
Sam can fix anything, which is a blessing and a curse, because anytime I need something done at the house, I don't have to hire anybody because Sam can do it. That's a given. But I can't hire someone to do it immediately because Sam can do it when he gets to it. So it's definitely a blessing and a curse.
Blessing and a curse. That's that old, and every guy and everyone watching this knows the old honey-do list, right? Yes. There's that list of things. And some things take priority over other things, and trying to squeeze it all in there.
And for some reason, cleaning the garage is just not on the priority list.
Cleaning the garage is not on the priority. Because every time I get it cleaned, it's just the next project, it's going to get right back to where it was again. And so that's kind of where it is. Now, having said that, we have a 2-car garage. We're very blessed to have a 2-car garage.
Yes.
And your car is parked in the garage. So it's not like I've consumed the whole garage.
Barely fits in the garage. I mean, if I go 2 inches to the left or right, I'm touching his stuff, which is bursting at the seams, and none of it ever gets touched. It literally could all just go out to the curb.
It's good. No. I got some really expensive tools sitting in there. And you have a 4-foot span. It's bigger than any parking spot at Target. That's exactly the space I've given to you. And yes, I do have stuff there, and you may think it doesn't move, but it does. Because when I need it, I pull it, and then I put it right back on a nice little pile that's set up right there.
We should move away from the garage. We should talk about happy things. Tell people what you do, because when people hear that you're a pastor, they assume that every Sunday you're up giving a sermon, and that's not what you do, actually.
No, that's not. I actually rarely do the sermons, maybe 5-6 times a year. I actually get up in front and stand in front. I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of communications, social media communications, and all that stuff for the church, which is really kind of a big thing now. If any business, any organization, you're going to be out there, you got to be strong in the social media presence. So I handle a lot of that stuff. I work a lot with the children and the youth in the church, which is crazy fun. And I enjoy it because I don't have to act like an adult on Sundays when everyone shows up. So
that's true.
But even then, like throughout the week, a lot of people, there's a misperception that pastors work on Sundays. Like that's kind of their own deal.
That they only work on Sundays.
That they only work on Sundays. Yeah. But no, there's so much going in throughout the week, and we get to walk with people in their lives and help people out, and I really enjoy that aspect of things. Encouraging individuals, and one of the great things we get to do as a church is we have these big free community events, and that's kind of really the highlight of my year. 5 times a year anyways, we get to do these great things. So yeah, I do a lot of working with people, developing programs and stuff like that. That's kind of more my role with the church on that end of things. So yeah, so not just a Sunday morning.
Aside from our jobs,
that's our jobs.
We have 2 boys.
2 very handsome, getting tall boys. Yeah.
One is going to...
He's going to be a freshman.
In high school.
Unbelievable. I can't believe we are old enough to have a freshman.
It's ridiculous.
And everyone always says, look, it's going to just
and
like
that. And it isn't that you don't believe them. It's that it just happens so quickly that you can't even bottle up time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, our little baby boy is now looking eye to eye with me. I'm 6'4". He's 6. He's
so
6'2",
I literally
6'3".
just took our son for a physical the other day because he's got to go to camp, and apparently a doctor has to sign a paper anytime your kid goes anywhere. Which, whatever.
That's a whole nother topic.
Oh my gosh! I'm like, I'm his mom. I'm telling you, he needs to take this medicine. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, his stats were 6'3". And 100
with his shoes on. With his shoes on. So maybe he's 6'2" and a half. We have to establish because I'm still the big guy in the house. Like I have to. I'm gonna milk it as long as I can. And I'm taller than my son because the moment
I hope you stay taller than him. I hope he just hit it super early and that he's done.
He did grow like 6-7 inches in 1 year.
Clothes for him is a nightmare.
Yeah, especially pants. He's got long legs.
He's 6'3" and 161 pounds. So he's not a small freshman. He's
walking, and he's got that. He's got that great wispy
he doesn't
beard
appear
coming
heavy
in
at all. He's very slender.
Oh yeah, he's stretched out. He's a full-bodied dude. He's
full-blown man. Yeah, he's got a shave, which is ridiculous to constantly tell your 14-year-old, like, go upstairs and shave your face. What is all this going on here?
Yeah, like he went through the quick, but the one thing, and we'll use the puberty word with the puberty, he didn't have that massive voice change. It felt like one morning he just woke up and
he speaks like a man.
Yeah, it was just man voice. Like it just happened.
He didn't do like the cracking voice or any of that. That would have been adorable.
It would have been cute. So that's our oldest. He's going to be a freshman in high school. Very intimidating. Super proud of him. Smart kid. And then our youngest, Javen, going into 7th grade now.
Right.
So he's just a couple years behind, and he's another one to brag on. But he is just the gentlest, sweetest spirit.
No, he's just a love bug. Like, he will still, going into 7th grade, cuddle with me, hold my hand. Like, he is just... I probably shouldn't have put this on TV. Is that why he's looking at me in horror, like I'm saying something drastically wrong?
If you know Javen's friends or potential bullies, please do not pass this information along to him.
Apparently I shouldn't have.
No, he is the sweetest kid. And he just wants to sit there. He wants to be with you. He wants to make sure everyone's happy in the room.
He's the peacekeeper of the family.
Peacekeeper.
Not that we ever have any.
He's the informant.
He's the informer. Yes.
He knows exactly what's going on.
We could leave him at your house for half an hour and he could tell us everything.
Yeah, and great detail.
Way too much detail.
So I'll jump ahead a little bit. We do have 2 little dogs. I love those little dogs.
Yeah.
Love our dogs. And one of them does have a little problem every now and then. Occasionally he likes to use the indoors for his bathroom as opposed to the outdoors.
So I am not a huge animal person.
No, you're not.
Now, it's not that I don't like animals. I love animals.
At someone else's house.
I just don't necessarily like them at my house because it does take away a little bit of your liberty in that you can't just get up and go, especially with dogs.
Right.
Cats, okay, you can, but our son is so allergic to cats that we could never, ever have a cat.
Yeah.
So that's out of the question because I would probably be more of a cat person.
Well, we had cats before he came along, and we loved them.
We had to give a cat away
and Chloe. I remember
of his diagnosis, and we wanted our son to breathe. So we gave our cat to a very wonderful, loving home. But that's probably more your
speed,
more my speed. Dogs, they're really high maintenance.
Yes, they are. Especially because he's got an allergy to fur. So we have hair dogs. They have to get
right.
Even more
there's
to
very
it.
small select amount of dogs we even would be able to bring in our home, again, because of our son's allergies. So years ago, after many evenings of begging and pleading and prodding.
Many. Yep.
And not only from Sam, but then he would get our kids on board. And when you have these adorable kids looking at you with like these teary big eyes, finally I agreed to get a dog.
Yes, you did.
And this dog has become my dog.
He is all about you.
Yeah.
Like, you come
we
in.
are two peas in a pod.
Total freak out mode. He is a cat. He's a
exactly
genuine
like a cat.
cat.
Yeah, except for he is excited to see me. Cats don't get that way. They're like, you're home, whatever.
Yeah.
But I walk in the door. I could be gone for 30 seconds. I walk in the door and he's like,
out.
I can't believe you're home. I'm so excited. Hug me, pet me, love me. Like
he can't
he's
contain
a real
himself.
sweet dog.
You think he's going to pass out just from all that jumping around?
And he doesn't do it for anybody else. It's only for me.
No, it is only you. He's got a different.
He follows
pitch.
me wherever I go. And he was such an amazing animal that they talked me into getting a second dog. And it didn't go as well.
Well, I think that's a great segue to lead into our first break. So when we get back, we'll find out more about our second dog.
Okay.
And then why in the world did we start a podcast? And why in the world are we here at Quinn doing this, doing Life TV? So we'll fill it out right after the break.
Welcome back to Doing Life TV with Sam and Joyce. And we are talking about our dogs.
Which everyone, like, you either love or despise dogs, but you love hearing about dog stories, I think. I think that's a general rule. I guess so. Unless it's that guy in the cubicle next to you, and every time he comes in and shows a picture, I just put him in like a little, look at his little sweater he's wearing today, and the dog looks miserable as all get out.
So anyway, we had one blessed, wonderful
Spark
phenomenon of a dog.
Spark is a black dog.
My dog.
He's a Morkie, so he's a Maltese, Yorkie mix.
Right.
Handsome little dog.
Yeah.
The perfect.
And we would take him everywhere. We were going to my parents for lunch. The dog came with us. We were going on a road trip. The dog came with us. Right. Wherever we went, he went with us. I used to put him in my purse when I'd pick the kids up from school. He was just a very good traveling companion.
He did do well. And so then we thought to ourselves, this is great.
Get another dog.
Let's get another one.
So we got a Shorkie,
so a Shih Tzu Yorkie mix.
Yes.
And by the name of?
Buster Bear.
Buster Bear. And we had a lot of different names. We brought him out, and we're going to, like Java Cop. He has a beautiful cream color.
Yeah.
Like, he really looks like, he's got a beautiful look. He's a very handsome mutt. But then we settled in on Buster. And there's that old thing, there is a lot to be said about someone's name. Like, there's meaning behind names, and what we learned.
He's a dummy. He's a big, big dummy.
Wow. But I'm sure at this point in time, Buster, I hope, is not listening.
It doesn't matter. He'd be like, I'm such a good dummy.
That is totally... So Buster's my dog. Like, he is gravitated towards me. He's that dog where I'm sitting on the couch, I'm going to go grab something to drink. He's like, wait, let me come with you.
Right.
While you go out to that. I'm messing up with all the equipment here. He's always there. Yeah. You sit down, he's going to crawl up on you. Like, he is a full-fledged, like, he's on a different level. So
Buster, it took us a very long time to potty train, to the point of tears on my end several times.
Like, we're done with this guy.
Yes, to the point of, are we going to keep this dog? Like, is this how we're going to live the rest of our lives, is cleaning up after this dog? Because he was that, like, brain dead. He couldn't get it through his head to use the bathroom outside. And it's not like we'd never done this before. We had another dog who potty trained fairly easily in comparison.
Yeah, Spark. He potty trained. So Buster has a habit. He has a spot, this certain spot that he just loved. And every now and then.
How many years have we had him?
Oh, I think we're going on 4 years now.
Okay, 4 years. And I wouldn't say all the time anymore, but occasionally still that same spot. I mean, we're talking 4 years of potty training this dog. We had to throw out my favorite carpet because of this dog.
Yeah, we did have to do that. And we don't have any carpets in the house,
up my dining room furniture, and I want a new dining room set so bad, but I'm so scared to put a new set in because I'm afraid he'll eat the new one.
That's an old Buster. New Buster doesn't eat so much anymore.
There's no new Buster. He's a rotten animal. And he barks at everything.
Yes, but having said that, we've never been attacked by a postman.
True.
We've never been attacked by the Amazon Prime delivery
Nope.
person.
Or leaves that blow.
Right. We've never been attacked by a leaf. We've never been attacked by someone who is casually walking down the street. So having said all that, he's done a great job of protecting us.
But my dog never barked and acted a scene like that until Buster came into it. Now they both act a scene.
Having said that, Spark is one of those, like, when the threat is real, I get real. Like, he's that kind of dog, and that's all well and good. But, Buster is true to his name. He's a little Buster. Yeah. But he is the cutest little Buster.
He's very cute, which is probably why he still lives with us. And I do love him. You don't have to.
Oh, he has the most annoying thing, which you didn't share. He has the excited piddles.
Oh my goodness! If you walk in the door, so there are rules for visiting our house. Let's lay it out now. Do not ring our doorbell.
Yeah, don't ring the doorbell.
The dogs won't settle down for a half an hour. They'll be ridiculous.
There's something in that doorbell.
Just like they can't get it out of their system.
And I'm not going to take the doorbell down because we have one of those camera doorbells. So it kind of serves that purpose.
I know, but the doorbell's the worst.
It is the worst.
And then when you come in, don't greet our dogs. Just ignore them. If you want to greet them, walk out back and greet them, because if you so much as say, "Hi, Buster," he will pee everywhere, all over the place,
like Niagara Falls,
on the couch, on the floor, and it's usually like company's coming, I've got food going, like a million things are happening, and then boom, I've got to stop everything and clean up dog pee. It's the worst. So yes, please feel free to visit us, but don't ring our doorbell and don't greet our dogs.
Wear your galoshes.
Right. Don't wear brand name shoes.
Nothing white.
Oh my gosh, he's getting better, and people have told me like, oh, they grow out of it, and as soon as they get fixed, that's not a problem anymore. Yeah, that is a dirty lie.
That is a dirty lie.
Somebody told me that, so I would keep the dog long enough to get him fixed and invest even more money in the dog. So I'm like, well, we can't get rid of him now. How much money have we invested in this animal?
Right. So that's what he is too. He's just an investment.
A bad one. But I will say he's a very good cuddler. Both dogs snuggle up with me at night. They keep me very warm. Neither dog will get out of bed until I get up.
No.
The whole family can get up, and they'll just be crying, like, can we get up? And I'm like, go. Nope, they won't budge, either one of them, until I get up.
There's something they love.
They think there's a rule that if I'm not downstairs, they can't be downstairs.
I don't know why. No one's moving. And the moment you roll over with a hint like you're getting up.
Yeah, they're like,
they're ready. Okay, good. Yep. Time to go. I can get up, ready to go, leave the house early.
Doesn't matter. They don't even
There's been times where, I've been on trips and I come in super late. They're not budged, not at all, and all that kind of stuff. So those are our... That's our doggies. We probably spend more time talking about our dogs.
I know, than our own children. I guess because we can agree that our children are fantastic and we love them.
Hands down.
When it comes to our dogs, we have a couple of disagreements.
There's a little disagreement there. Yeah. I love our dogs.
I love our dogs too. I just wish one wasn't quite as high maintenance.
A little less tinkle and a little more twinkle.
Okay.
I don't know how that works, but it rhymes.
So anyway... We are here at Quinn Broadcasting. Couldn't be happier to be here.
Yeah, this is exciting.
This isn't our first time sitting down doing something like this.
No.
We started as a podcast called Doing Life Radio. If you ever want to catch any of those episodes, how can they do that?
Well, they're out there. They're on iTunes. You can search on iTunes. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook and all those things. Just Doing Life Radio. Find
YouTube if they want to watch it.
We're on YouTube and all those kind of things. So that's kind of what got us started. But we didn't just come out of nowhere and say, we're going to be. We have no intention of being podcast famous or YouTube famous or anything like that. But at the beginning of the year, we said to ourselves, we want to add something to what we're doing.
We felt like we had something to share.
We felt like we had something to share.
So about a year ago, we took some really drastic steps in our house as far as our health and nutrition.
Yeah, huge steps.
Came to be. And I think like most women in their 30s,
late 30s.
I'm not talking about yesterday.
Okay, gotcha.
I experimented with several diets.
Yes.
And like most husbands in their 30s, older 30s than the wife, he sabotaged all of my...
Whoa, sabotage? Saboteur. That's a pretty harsh criticism.
In the sense that I'm trying to eat better, but you're bringing junk in, or I'm trying to cook healthier and you're not wanting that. Right. So it's hard.
I didn't intentionally sabotage it. I just didn't join the game.
You did not join the game. And Correct. It is hard when you're in a family and only one person in that family is trying to make significant changes. And the changes that I was trying to make, I was probably not even making the right ones, but I was trying. I was trying to figure it out. And I always did 30-day things. I did like 30 days of vegan, 30 days of like this cleanse, 30 days of keto, 30 days of this, because I wanted to see what would happen. Paleo, I did 30 days of paleo. So I don't know why. 1 month to me always seemed like a good way. And then when I was finished that 30 days, I was like, feast day, I never really found a way where I was like, this is how I want to continue eating. It was like 5 more days and we're going to Sakura, like.
Well, that's kind of your personality too, is you like to know what the end time is. Like, you will jog as long as you know when it's going to stop. You will do this project as long as you know where you want to get to the end product. You have, even I think in your job, you need to know what time it is because you have things formulated
I have the next one coming in.
You know exactly where your steps are. So I think that only makes sense that when you came to a diet, you wanted to know what the end, just a natural flow.
And that's how I saw it, was as a diet. Like, this is something I'm doing for a temporary amount of time to hopefully lose a certain amount of weight.
You're going to lose 20, 30 pounds. I'm going to be in perfect shape after these 30 days. And
even working out, I would buy a ton of Beachbody DVDs. I mean, I have a library of Beachbody DVDs.
And no one does DVDs anymore.
I love DVDs. And I would do them so well and so consistently for about a month. And then after I missed like 1 or 2, it was like, I'm not doing it anymore. I don't see the results I want to see, and I feel so defeated, and I just want an ice cream cone.
And that's where I came in, and that's where I started to become very supportive of you for the ice cream cone. I was like, yes, the diet is over. Like, I don't have these weird smelling foods in my house anymore. Like, it's very exciting times. And so I was, in that point, I was probably supportive. Yay, you made it. Congratulations. Let's celebrate together.
So about a year ago, this program sort of landed in Sam's lap called SoulCon.
Yep. And that started the whole thing. So when we come back after this break, we'll dive into what actually clicked the switch in my head.
Right.
And then you ran with it.
Yeah.
You ran with it, and it's definitely showed some big results. So when we get back from break, you're going to get to see pictures of Fat Sam and Fatter Sam, I guess.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in Fat Joyce. That's why I looked at you that way.
No. I'm not. Never happened. Not going to say it. So let's just take a break.
Okay.
Let's all cool off here. Settle down. Stop being so accusatory of things, and we'll be back.
Okay. Welcome back to Doing Life TV with Sam and Joyce. And we are talking about some of the diet failures we had and then some of the success we had. And so I would say the most successful thing that came into our life was the SoulCon Challenge.
Yeah. So the SoulCon Challenge, I discovered a little bit more than a year ago, beginning of 2018, I guess. Wow, it feels weird to say something like that. So as you said, all these diets that you went through, that was great for you.
You wanted nothing to do with it.
I wanted nothing to do with it. And I didn't feel like I needed the diets, because I was just a big guy. That's
what you would say is, I can't lose weight. I'm a big guy. I'm active. It's not like I'm not active. I just can't lose weight. You know what I mean?
Well, I
wasn't asking you to lose weight, for the record.
A little less head shaking. I wasn't shaking, doing that whole snap thing going around like that.
You don't know. You don't have a mirror in front of you.
Maybe I was doing a little bit, but I was so big it looked like I was
you were just jiggling.
Doing a little bit more. But it wasn't like I was like huge, like dramatically obese. Someone would look at me, they wouldn't say, you are unhealthy and something needs to change. And I think that's kind of where I was at. It's like, okay, I'm not unhealthy to the point where if I don't change tomorrow, I'm not going to have another 5 years.
Right.
I was still active. I was still able to work all day, still involved in sports to the level, maybe not the level I wanted to be, but
where you thought you should be for your age.
Right, exactly. I just thought, well, it's my age. It's kind of what's happening. Yeah, I'm no longer a college superstar, so whatever.
But the SoulCon book took a totally different approach.
So I was looking for something different, a challenge for myself last year, and I randomly, just one of those things, I guess, proof that Facebook does have some good values. This thing just came across, and I'm like, this looks different. Now, it's SoulCon, SoulCon. It's called for Soul Control, basically. And it is a book that is aimed towards men, which was appealing to me. And it had some of the elements that I was looking for. I was looking for some spiritual development. I wanted to grow spiritually. It had a lot of things to do with like your mental state and the way that you approach life, how you lead as a man in the house and family. And then it had some physical elements to it. So basically, I was looking for something that would combine spiritual and physical, and this program hit the mark, and it clicked for me.
Very much a mental challenge. Even though it was very physically taxing, it was more of a mental challenge, which is, I think, what appealed to you.
Yeah.
because they were basically saying, you don't have discipline. Like if you're a man and you live in the United States, you do not know what discipline is. And I think that you were like, you know what? I think they're onto something, and I want to be a man of discipline.
Yeah, and that's the word that we've kind of keyed in on is discipline, and really that's when we talk to people and we're walking through with people, it really comes down to discipline. And as I started to read this thing, started to explore a little bit, started to dive into it, it really was about making choices, making hard, difficult, but direct choices. And like I said, we're very direct individuals. The book is very direct. It's written from like a military perspective, which that always appeals to me. You know what I mean? It's a man's book. It talks to men from men. And so in that program, it was a 6-week program, going back to having an end date. I'm like, you know what? I can do something for 6 weeks.
Right.
And it was a gradual progression. It had physical challenges to it, which I was looking to do. I wanted to start getting back in shape. Now, I didn't know to what end that would actually mean, but there was like every week there's certain challenge you had to do. I think it was like 2 5Ks you had to do a week, whether you walk, ran, or whatever, just get them done. Certain gym exercises, and amongst all these kind of things.
And there was an eating protocol.
And then on top of that was eating. So I had to change my diet, and for me it was a dramatic change. And I could not have done it without my own personal chef, aka my beautiful bride.
Yes,
you kind of took over on that.
We decided to do the challenge together. Now, the book was written specifically for men, and when I started to read it, the author was very clear that
this ain't for you.
It wasn't for women. So I didn't actually read the book, and I very much respected that it was a program for men. So Sam made me a binder that had the food outline and the workout outline, so I could still do the challenge with him without having read the book. Not that I think it would have been a terrible thing to read the book, but it wasn't geared to me, and it probably wouldn't have benefited me to the same extent.
The topics it covers are very manly.
Yeah, and I love to read. I don't want to waste my time reading something that's not for me. So we decided to do it all together, and we went to the gym together in the morning. We had our breakfast together, and then we sat down and had dinner together. I mean, the amount of time we spent together in those 6 weeks.
Yeah, it was significant.
It was a lot of time, and we really just saw lots of big changes in each other. Just in saying, for those 6 weeks, I don't know if we even watched TV, and if we did, it was extremely minimal because we were toast. And the workouts we were doing then are even comparable to what we're doing now, but our bodies are a little bit more accustomed to it now. So yeah, we would get up at the crack of dawn, we would work out, I would meal prep all morning to get us through the day, and by the time we got home in the evening, we couldn't wait to go to bed. Yeah,
well, sleep was a reprieve.
Yeah.
it was like finally get done with this thing. So it was a 6-week program. Within that 6-week program, there was talked about fasting and the spiritual and physical benefits to that. So we did our first actual 24-hour fast, which for me was life-changing. Just the things I learned from it about myself, going through that, to the point where then we brought the element into the church and made it more spiritual on that end. But as far as us and how we did it, like it was very eye-opening and very engaging. So we get to the end of the 6 weeks, so we're getting down towards it, and we've spent so much time together. We worked out together. We're having so much fun together, and we're seeing results. Like weight was
you were seeing results you weren't expecting to see.
Not in the slightest. And I wouldn't say I was 100% on the program. I would say I was like 90, 95% on this thing. Like I was doing really what I thought.
You're doing very well.
Yeah, for me, crushing it. And so we get to the end, and there's actual results. So I'm like, you know what? Let's keep going.
Yeah.
And let's keep doing it. And then you jumped on this thing. You said, all right, well, if he's willing to do this, maybe he's willing to try some more extreme kind of things.
Yes, we did some more extreme dieting. We started working out a little bit more.
We went from like 3 days a week to like 4 or 5. We're now I'm like 5 days a week at minimum. And if I can get that 6th one, then I'm in there.
Yeah, so we decided to take it up a notch, and then people started coming to us and saying, like, "What are you guys doing? What's going on?"
Hold on.
Okay,
people started coming up to me and say, "I see something different." Now, here's the reason: I had a more dramatic transformation than you did. And
in over a year, I've only lost about 20 pounds.
And in that same time frame, I've lost about 55 pounds.
Yeah.
So. It was dramatic, and people could see it. We actually have some pictures. You want to see some pictures?
Yeah, I have heard that we have pictures, and I haven't seen them yet, so I don't know what he's pulled up.
We got Anthony sitting in the back room, and he's going to pop up. Just go ahead, pop up a picture up there. We're staring off.
They're all of you.
they're not all of me, but there's are a couple with you in it. These are all from the last year and a half to 2 years. So you can kind of get an idea of where. Oh, that one.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is. I actually titled this one "Fat Sam." Like this is me at my biggest. I loved that shirt too. That was like one of my most favorite shirts. You wore that
shirt all the time.
I thought it made me look skinny. I thought it made me look good. So this is a pretty dramatic picture. But this is me. This is our trip we took. Yeah, our trip to Israel. This is just like look. I got the nice gut. Those jeans. It's amazing.
Those are the flexi jeans, right? The
oh yeah. Well, I love flexi jeans anyways because how are you going to step up into anything if you're not wearing that? So yeah, that's dramatic. So that's kind of like that kind of epitomizes. So
that was before we started anything.
That was before anything. Yeah. This is where I think I'm okay. Everything's going fine.
Right. I bring up dieting and you poo-poo it because I'm fantastic.
That was my favorite. I'm a big man. Yes. That's one thing. I'm a big man. That's where I was rolling. So we got another picture, a couple more to go show. This is our family picture. I think
that's the same day because you're wearing the same shirt and we're in Israel.
I'd like to think it was the same day. So this is our family. This is our boys, a couple years younger, Tad in the orange and Javen in the red. And yeah, so this is like I'm sucking in on this one.
Yeah, I can see it because you're.
What do you mean you can see it?
Well, I can see that you're like your back is straight, your shoulders are back, so that makes you when you have better posture, it gives you a better figure anyway.
And so again, looking at it, it's not. I'm not morbidly obese, right? There's no there's no life-threatening things like someone would look at me and say, and that's kind of where I was at.
No, and even looking at the picture of me, I don't think I look any bigger in that picture than I do now. I think I look pretty much the same, but I can look at those clothes and know those clothes don't fit me anymore.
Those clothes are way in the past. But just looking at your face, I mean, you can see there's more of
flesh
you.
In the face?
There you go. More of you in that picture. I don't know how to tactfully say that. So, like, you can see it, like, there. Like, that's kind of that. So that's, again, the same day. That's me sucking in. Kind of big, and everyone always looked at me as a big guy. I just took that moniker and went with it, not acknowledging that it's unhealthy. It was an unhealthy big. So we got I think we got 2 more pictures to be able to show. This one, there we go. Another day, again, the same trip.
Yep.
Sucking in, kind of everything's just bigger. Those pants are probably 3 sizes bigger than what I'm wearing now.
Yeah.
To be honest, as we're sitting down in the chairs, and I'm trying to, how do I demonstrate that I've actually lost the weight, but. It's come off. And then the last picture, this one is taken 2 falls ago, I believe. Okay. This is our, with the 2 of us together. This is where you can really see a difference. Go ahead and throw that last picture up there. I think it's a cute one of us.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, they're all cute. I mean, you're in it, so it'd make it all kinds of happy.
Very smart.
We're still waiting for it's going to come up. He'll find it.
We believe. Here it is.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, so this one you can definitely tell the size, like we're both way bigger in that picture. Yeah, and this was a great photo shoot. We really enjoyed it. I was showing a picture to Anthony saying the beard hides all the fat. And I'm like, my beard wasn't that big. To be able to take care of all that stuff. So that's where we were at. Yeah. Like we were like no one would have looked at you and said you need to lose weight. Not at all. You carried it so differently.
And I wasn't overweight, I don't think. No. I didn't feel super comfortable in my own skin. I think every person knows kind of where their body should be, and I'm a little bit smaller boned. I'm naturally a thinner person. Mm-hmm. Some people are naturally a little thicker. Some people are naturally a little thinner. And
I'm naturally thicker, like I'm bigger boned.
Yeah, and I'm naturally pretty slender. So when I got into my later 30s and I started kind of just bulking up a little bit, it's not, again, that I was obese or, unhealthy looking, but I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. I felt always puffy and bloated, and I wanted to feel like my lean self. So that's where it came from me.
Think that is probably where a lot of people are at. They just don't feel like they're their best selves. I guess that's kind of where that. So we're gonna let's take another break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about what we're doing now, what we've been doing the last little while, and talk a little bit more about the word discipline. Right? All right, let's take a break.
Welcome back to Doing Life TV with Sam and Joyce, and we are talking about weight loss.
Yeah, we're talking about discipline.
Yeah, we're more so talking about weight loss through discipline.
Through discipline, right. And that was a big element that grabbed onto me when we went through this program was discipline, because it had certain things you had to do every single day, and it was hard, it was difficult, but it led to a better product at the end. And when people would come up and say, hey, what have you been doing? what diet, that's a phrase, what diet have you been doing? And I would say, this is what I would say, and I know you're going to correct me, I'm eating better and moving more.
Eating less, moving more.
Eating less, moving more.
Yeah. And I have trained you so well that you
I can't even say it wrong.
Yeah, that's eat less, move more. It's my pet peeve. People know that about me, because the phrase should be eat better, move more. Because a lot of the things, it's not just stick to the same crappy food you've always been eating, just eat less of it.
Right.
It's change what you're eating and nourish your body rather than just restrict calories.
Mm-hmm.
Because we actually realized we can eat a substantial amount of calories as long as it's very nutrient dense, because then we're going to be full. We're not going to have those nasty cravings. We're not going to crave the sweets at night, because our body's getting what it needs.
Yeah, so that's, you trained me so well. It is eating better, moving more, and we've developed habits of being at the gym. Like, we missed a day at the gym. We missed the gym this morning.
Yeah, we overslept.
And we feel terrible about it, right? Like, it's just like...
Sometimes you need to sleep.
I feel terrible. Like, I feel like if I miss a day, like, I somehow got to compensate for it, and like, you just kind of miss that routine. Like, your body's used to getting up, and we're getting up earlier. Like,
well, the routine, there's something to be said for it, because when you have routine, your whole day sort of flows better, and when you skip something in your routine, your whole day sort of falls
totally
apart.
Messes with everything.
So yeah, even though we needed some extra rest, we needed the sleep, we probably did the right thing for our body. It did then
threw everything in
threw the whole morning off, because usually our time schedules are so tight that you know you just follow your routine. And I'm a routine person.
You are total
You've
routine.
become a routine person
more so.
through discipline, but you are very like loosey-goosey, relaxed. Let's see what the day brings me, and I want everything to be on a schedule.
Yep, and on time. Like, that is going to start.
Oh,
this is
definitely on time.
You're an on-time person. Like, if we invite you over for dinner and we say 5:30, show up at 5:30. Don't show up at 5:25. Don't show up at 5:35. Show up at 5:30.
No, I'm not that ridiculous. But yeah, don't call me at 5:30 and be like, "Hey, we'll be there in 30 minutes," because dinner's done
ready
now.
To go.
That's what time we were going to eat. Yeah,
it's like that episode of The Office. Michael Scott and I forget who he's dating at this time, Jan or something. Invite Jim and Pam over for dinner.
And then they didn't start cooking.
They didn't even start cooking. It was like a 3-hour process. They didn't start cooking. That's not us. No, we say dinner's at 5:30. It might be late at 5:35, but it is going to be there, hot, ready to go, good to go. So so we're in a completely different phase of life now. We're in a discipline phase where we are we're working out on a very regular basis. We're eating better, more often than not. I did have birthday weekend, and I had some ice cream down the shore.
We did, but we didn't have birthday cake. We had ice cream cones from Core Brothers, which is our happy place.
Yeah, it is our happy place.
And so we decided, if we're going to have a dessert for your birthday, why not have a Core Brothers ice cream cone? So that's what we did.
Cake, and we did that.
Yeah.
We're at a very different place now in life, and we are getting a lot of people coming up and asking, "What are you doing?" And I try to respond with either eat better, move more, or discipline.
Yeah.
Because I think that's really what it boils down to. You have to kind of make sometimes you have to make difficult decisions.
Yeah.
And what we're doing might not work for you. Like,
we're big proponents for that. I mean, what we specifically do is more of a keto lifestyle where we're eating high fat, low carb.
Right.
And I've had people come up to me and say, "I can't eat that way because," and my response is, okay, you have to find what works for you. Now, sometimes I think people think they can't eat that way, and maybe they can, but then I have to remind myself, like, who am I to think that? Like, that's none of my business. That's between them and their doctor. Because sometimes we think because it works for me, it should obviously work for you. And I have to remind myself, like, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I just know this worked for us.
Yeah.
So that's really where our podcast was birthed from, is we decided, we're not experts in the health and nutrition.
We claim to be experts on nothing.
Fields, not at all. But I think that people like that one. We don't know what we're doing, and we managed to do pretty well. Yeah. So people like to ask us about it, and we thought it would be an interesting podcast.
We like the simple things. Like, if there's something that is going to improve our life, we're willing to try it. And you are a readaholic. You will read up on things like crazy. You get yourself on a track, and you go nuts. Like, we were talking about, like, our YouTube lives, like, the other day, and the things that you watch and lead down.
Things on my YouTube, it's amazing.
They're so
because I just
informational.
assumed that everyone's getting bombarded with this information. So I'm talking to Sam, like, so excited about
Like,
this
have you
information.
seen this? This new thing is coming
and
out.
he's like, nobody knows what you're talking about. Nobody's newsfeed looks like that but yours. And I'm like, oh.
But you're constantly absorbing information, constantly bringing it all in, and that's helping us like improve not only our health, but then like the health of our family. Like what we've discovered too is through this whole process. One, there are so many more benefits to going to the gym and working out than just physical
Losing
appearance
weight.
and losing weight. Like the way, like you said it best, the confidence you have in yourself now is so different than just a year or so ago. I'd like to say the same thing. The way I feel,
absolutely.
And
the mental benefits of weight training.
That's exactly
are
right. Just getting out there and doing those kind of things.
I was reading a study that said even if you don't lose any weight, just the mental benefits alone are worth it because it just puts you in a positive frame of mind.
Yeah. And we like to push people, like, you don't have to go to a gym to start working out. Like push-ups, jogging, all these kind of things are readily available to everyone. Right. You just have to make a determination.
And now with the internet, everybody has a smartphone.
My goodness.
And I often get my workouts from YouTube or from Pinterest. So it's really
I never thought, I always thought
fingertips.
Pinterest was like for like quilts and t-shirts and all that kind of stuff, but apparently there are actual workouts on Pinterest. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
So that's pretty much what we talked about on the podcast is we like to call it food, fitness, and faith. They were the three things we like to talk about. And so that's sort of where this came from. And
it's where we're heading. We're going to talk about a lot about food and fitness and things that hopefully you can do in the day-to-day to kind of improve and move forward. And we want it to be a very social time.
Yeah, we like it to be, like we always said, we had a communal podcast. So we'd like the show to be, pretty similar. So certainly write in with your tips, tricks, ideas, suggestions, because that's where we get the ideas for the show is from you guys.
Yeah, and like you've developed some new friends through this whole process and learning how they're doing. And what's fun is like you become kind of this quasi keto coach for other people, and like the keto for beginners kind of deal, kind of walking through that. Everyone comes up to me, "What are you doing? What is it? What's this? What's that?" And I'm like, I don't know. I show up at home. Joyce says, "This is what we're having. This is what's going on." Like, all this stuff. You're not an expert per se, but you really invest a lot of time into learning like what these things do, like second level. Like just a couple weeks ago, we talked about omega-3s. Who talks about omega-3s? You talk about omega-3s. Where are they found? They're found in fish. It was a fascinating topic, but I would never thought in my wildest dream that we'd be talking about omega-3s.
Having a show about omega-3s.
And it's legit, like the things it does for you. And you start to get down to a lot of these issues that society and America, like a lot of these things really boil down to our diets and what's messing up on those things. And not to be an extremist and stuff like that, but a lot of things, you change your diet, you'd be surprised what effect it'll have on you.
Yeah, and I know the healthy food, eating healthy can be quite costly in comparison to eating not healthy. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to pay somebody. So you're going to pay for your food or you're going to pay your doctor because nothing's for free. You know what I mean? You're not going to get off for less than somebody else is going to. So we have decided that we're putting a significant investment into our food. And it really isn't that much because we've cut out eating out, which is
we don't eat out much anymore.
So it's sort of balanced out well for our household. But I think it's worth the investment.
And there's ways to do it. I've seen just maybe your feed is crossing over into mine. I've seen people like budget shopping on it. And you see those pictures online where like a hamburger costs $1 and a salad costs like $5. Right. So we are running into these things in life. But I mean, we're talking about a healthier, better you. I mean, that's kind of the concept of this whole program and doing life and all the different elements that kind of play into it. Maybe one time we'll just have to have sleep. Because sleep is important too.
Oh, we could do an episode on sleep. Sleep is fascinating.
No, just sleeping.
No.
No?
No.
That's not going to work. We can't do like big nap time and call it like our workout session. I don't think people would like
that so much.
We're gonna go to the gym. We're gonna show some of those elements. We're gonna start to take a lot of elements of our life.
Yeah, I think food and fitness are the things we're gonna focus mostly on the show. Certainly write in your ideas, but that's the gist of it. We have a couple of really exciting episodes ready to go that we can't wait to share with you. Yes. We do love your feedback. Yep,
and we got some exciting guests to come in. Again, some experts, some not. Some people just like loving it in their field and just doing life, and that's what we want to talk about.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
So let's wrap up with that. Very simple. Thanks for spending the time with us. Thanks for allowing us to share who we are and where we're going. We'd love some feedback from you. But this is Sam and Joyce, and this is Doing Life TV.